Welcome!
Yo!
Episode 21.
2-1.
2-1. We are, spoiler alert, we have just seen the Joker movie, literally minutes ago. Just seen it. We are going to do
10 minutes at the most.
We are going to do a, literal movie review of this movie. If you have not seen it, or you want to see it, or you don't want spoilers, skip this episode. But download it, then delete it.
Yeah,
That's
still download it.
Download it, delete it.
Or download it, watch the movie, come back.
Yeah.
Listen.
We'll just tell you right now, if anyone is still listening, that wants to see this movie, and they're on the fence because people said it's disturbing, it's walkout this, it's walkout that, whatever. It's not.
No.
It is possibly the best movie I have seen in 2019.
Oh, yeah.
I think it beats out Endgame to me.
Oh, that was a great movie.
It beats Endgame for me.
But I also don't see why people would walk out of this movie.
I don't either. I really don't. There's no walkout feature.
I mean, unless you're very sensitive to mental health.
I didn't see Hereditary in theaters, but you know my deal with Hereditary.
I do.
Great movie. It has scarred me for life. And I probably wouldn't even have walked out of that movie. I don't think I would ever walk out of a movie unless there was a brutal on-screen child rape scene. That would probably be the only thing that would make me walk out of a movie.
I wouldn't even think about that.
Exactly, but that's the only thing that would make me walk out of a movie.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
I could see you walking out of that. I could see everyone walking out of that.
Everyone should walk out of that.
I could be
but
like,
this movie
what the
is
fuck's
not
going on here?
Guys, anyone who's listening to this, it is not a walkout movie. I don't know if it was publicity from the Warner Brothers or DC or whatever to try and get people to like it, or if people are just being babies because they're like, it's whateverizing mental illness. It's not like making mental illness seem cool at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
But it does give you.
It gives you a really big
view into Joker.
Well, it gives you an eye into Joker, but then if anything, it really opens up and sees what mental illness
and how people ignore it.
Plus how it can be passed down.
Correct.
So this is not a glamorizing of mental illness at all.
No way.
No. In anything, it's the opposite.
Correct.
So,
correct.
all right. This is 3, 2, 1. We're gonna start talking about the movie. So, see you later if you guys want to watch it and come back. If not, here we go.
Yeah. So
I just want to say, in general, I think this was a really good iteration of the Joker.
Oh, dude, next to Heath Ledger, I can't believe, because you just told me a list of Jokers.
Mm-hmm.
This Joker should be further up that list.
He was 6.
It should be further up that list.
It should be 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
He should be in the top 3, top 5.
Joaquin Phoenix did his thing.
The only thing was when he was on set with Robert De Niro with his makeup on.
Correct.
When he's a little whiny when he's kind of talking about it. I thought he was going to be more together. I thought he was going to be more together of the Joker, but I think he didn't really become the Joker till the end when he was puts his own makeup on with his blood. So maybe that was just me. I just think it was.
It was maybe after that part with putting his blood on his smile.
Yeah.
And then the voice he used in the Arkham Asylum, whatever. That was his voice now. But I thought that too when he was on stage.
Let's definitely point out that they have 2 definitive nods that we recognize to Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah.
He walks up to Arkham Asylum, which is the exact hospital Arkham Asylum that Heath Ledger blows up in the movie, where he's in the nurse's outfit, and he's did you actually know in that it was supposed to the on-set effects were supposed to go off, and they didn't.
They didn't.
And he
that was real.
And that was his real reaction because he didn't know if it was going to go off.
Yeah.
And it was like, just that scene alone was great. And then the second nod to Heath Ledger was when he's in the cop car and his head's against the window, like how Heath Ledger's out of the window.
Yeah.
So great.
I love how they did that.
Yeah, it gave me tingles.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was just a great movie. The colors they used when they used the vibrant colors. Loved them. The bloody footprints on the white floor. I loved it.
The blood splattered on his white face.
Oh, just
on his white face when he attacks his clown buddy.
The subtle use of blood.
Oh,
as vibrant
on a white background is just. It's masterful.
It
makes me sound like a psychopath.
It does.
When I saw him sit back after stabbing the guy in the neck and the face, and he's got the blood, I go, I need that as a background.
Like it was, just the use of blood splatter was beautiful. It's weird. I
still can't believe he let the midget go.
Why not?
I don't know.
He was so nice to him.
I know he was. But
that's gonna be one of his guys, man. It's gonna be one of his henchmen.
I know. All right, so let's really kind of start from the beginning. We kind of like got our little bits of like, oh, we love this, we love that. So it all starts with Arthur Fleck as he works as a rent-a-clown, basically to like advertise.
Whoever
stuff.
signs the contract,
Yeah, pretty much.
He was swinging a sign for a business going out of business going out of business. And he was in a child's hospital. Whoever signs the contract needs a clown.
So, he starts out with that. He's we meet his mom. His mom is sick and old. He's basically the only one that brings
sole provider.
Yeah, sole provider of the house.
Household.
This takes place in like the 30s, 40s area of time frame in Gotham.
I think it was later than that, bud. Think of Batman. He was just a little kid.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 50s.
Okay, maybe 50s. I don't know. I was just
50s,
trying to go.
60s.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe,
I don't know about.
Maybe even the 70s.
No. Well, that was my confusion too, was because the black lady and the stuff in her apartment and how she dressed definitely rang 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of the world really rang like 50s. Like stuff like that, so it was a little weird. But that's all with all movies, especially when you go to time period. Nothing is ever really set.
It's hard,
and they never said what the time period is.
Correct.
But
I was trying to.
You also got to
remember
in the
beginning
though,
on the radio. I was trying to see if they said the date. I don't.
Oh,
they might have said 1975.
I wasn't paying attention.
They might have said 1975.
I was too immersed into looking into the world because it was. I know some of the places were shot in New York City. I don't think all of it was, but a lot of it was shot in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looking at it and looking at how they I was just immersed into the world because even like they have a garbage strike going on in the middle of it. So I'm like, oh my god, they're shooting this in New York City and they have to like just chuck all this garbage in the streets.
There's trash bags
everywhere. And when I say
everywhere.
there's garbage in the streets, there's piles,
mountains of
on
trash bags.
every sidewalk that you're walking past and like all sorts of shit. So, I didn't hear that, but we'll move on to so his mom's sick. He's struggling. We see him at his like counselor, who he's seen because he was also in Arkham Asylum. They said.
This movie takes place 1981.
That's 81.
Correct.
Okay.
That's what the director said.
Okay, that's fine. The director,
1981.
The director can tell me
the
when
year that it takes place.
Yeah.
The year that he tried to make it look like it took place.
Yeah,
so,
that is not the 80s, but okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, maybe that's the 80s in Gotham.
Yeah.
Understood. But
okay.
This
movie did a great job on getting you so immersed into it, and then something happened, and you're like,
"Can I say something?
Holy shit!"
Can I say something? It's like this movie was beautifully scored.
Oh,
the music in this movie was on par with like the music when the original Star Wars came out.
Ooh.
Like on par scored with the original Star Wars coming out. Dude, every Dude, okay, so when he's walking back to his apartment in the rain, when he walks into...
Oh, yeah. Just the mood that the music puts you in.
The music, and you're like... And you know it's coming to this climax, and you're just like... And it's almost like the Darth Vader walk, where it's like... Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like that, because he's just walking down the hallway, and it's one of those, I don't give a fuck, I just walked home in the rain, I'm soaked to the marrow, and he's just... has this fuck you look on his face, and watch, like Heath Ledger said, he goes, I just want to watch the world burn.
Yes.
And the music score in it just made me tingle from head to toe, because it's just like, it was just perfect. I think whatever people say about this movie in general, I think this movie is possibly one of the best movies I've seen in a long, long time.
I would say that myself.
Yeah. It just how it was scored, how they shot it, how Joaquin Phoenix played the Joker. Like, I know you originally had issues with his makeup. I fell in love with it.
I loved it.
I fell in love with it.
I loved it.
The more, even before seeing the movie, the more I saw him in the makeup and saw, like, scenes of him. Like I said to you on the phone the other day when we were in the car, he looks like a different person with that makeup on. He looks just, I don't know. He
definitely didn't look like Joaquin Phoenix. No. One of the craziest parts was his relationship with the girl.
Hold on. Let's get there, because all right, so we've already established, like, he's the clown. We met his mom. He goes to a counselor. Like every other week or maybe once a month or whatever, and he was in Arkham Asylum. And then, we see him, he goes back to work. He had gotten jumped, and the sign was stolen from him, and he got beat up, and his coworker gives him a gun. And he's not supposed to have a gun.
For his own protection.
Yeah, for his own protection. But he's not supposed to have a gun in the first place because he was in the asylum. He's mentally ill.
And he's a freaking clown.
Yeah, and he's
an entertainment clown.
Yeah, and he's an entertainment clown.
Can't carry around a gun.
So he literally he goes on another gig, and he takes his gun on him in his person while he's wearing his clown thing to a children's. It looks like a children's cancer ward. Yeah. So you know all about that.
Yeah. He's doing his... Did you
have a clown drop a gun on the floor?
No.
All right.
That would have been entertaining. He's doing his jig.
You would have been like, blah, blah, blah.
He's doing his jig, dancing around, entertaining.
The most sad thing ever, too, is they're doing, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands song with all these sick children, and they're all just like, they played that part so well, because they're all just like, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet, and they're just like barely fucking anything.
Barely moving. Chemo drained.
Yeah.
Just sick kids.
And then he's like dancing around, and his gun just flies across the room. He tries to pick it up, and then he kicks it. When he kicked it, I
thought it was going to go off. Oh my God.
Yes, I thought it was going to go off.
But when it fell, I was not expecting that.
I was not either.
I was like,
I was not.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was not.
You're good.
I was not expecting it either. But it was. So he loses his job.
Correct.
Which is like tick number one in the, or it's like strike number one for his breaking point.
As things happen, you just see him breaking and breaking more.
I have like this mental checklist of like check, like, okay, there's strike number one of like
it's like the straws that broke the camel's back, man. Like,
he's on his way to his snapping point. Like, he's gonna break and he's gonna fucking he loses his job. And then isn't that
before that happened? Well, no, that's when he met this girl. Before that,
well, no, he met her in the
elevator.
In the elevator,
correct.
Where she made like the blow my brains out because my daughter says, "Oh, isn't this building terrible, Mom?" Like all the time, and she even says it like before she says it, like she knows it's coming.
Yeah.
And so
she comes to his door.
No, hold on. So she does the blowing your brains out thing in the elevator, and then they get out of the elevator. She goes to her apartment. He starts going to his, and he turns around and he goes, "Hey," and then he fucking does the blowing your brains out thing, like all way more dramatic. And she's like, "Ha," and then goes into her apartment.
Yeah, a little smirk, but kind of weirded out a little bit, you know.
So I think he gets fired, and then wasn't it he got fired, and then we see him like basically go to her door and knock on it. She opens it, and he like basically walks in and just starts like making out with her.
Well, no, she went to his door first and said, Arthur, like, I was like, dang, she knows him? Yep. She knows him like that?
Yeah, I said that too in my head. I was like, yeah, so she goes to his door one day. Oh, because he followed her. He followed her.
Did you follow me?
Yeah. Okay, so number one, that doesn't happen.
Correct.
No, like...
Number one.
Yeah, so, alright, so he
follows
her around town. We first see him skulking outside of her daughter's school as she's dropping her daughter off to school. Then on the train, then to presumably her work, and he kind of like chickens out and leaves. He's like, I gotta go. And then, we see him at the club, and then he comes home, and like the next day she's like, were you following me the other day? Like, no woman comes up to me and goes, were you following me the other day?
I mean, are you following women?
No, but like, no, like, all right, number one, if anyone listening to this follows a man or a woman and they come up to you and be like, were you following me the other day? Like, not mad at you, and just kind of like, oh, I hope you would have came in and robbed my place of business.
First of all, if someone asks you, were you following me the other day? You say no.
That woman is nuts. That man or woman is nuts. You say, no, I was not following you.
Yeah, you say no. And, well, she said, you should have robbed the place. She's like, I have a gun.
Anyone who's into being followed by someone they barely know, you need to run the other way.
But apparently she knew him because she's like, Arthur.
Yeah.
Like, we're buddies.
I did say that too, of like, oh, she knows his name?
Like, why did she say his name in the elevator? You know, but whatever.
But you can always think too is like maybe there's chit chat in the, the building, whatever, blah blah blah. You can find out who lives here, what's that man's name, but it just instantly I thought from the beginning.
But you forget about it. You're like, why does she know his name? Whatever.
And the whole time I'm like, man, she's way out of his league too.
Yeah. So later on, he bursts into her door, makes out with her, gets the business.
Yeah, presumably,
Yeah. So from that point on, they're in a relationship.
Yeah, pretty much. We see her, she came to a comedy show.
They go on a date after.
Yeah, they go on a date after, and like, just, blah, blah, blah shit happens, and like, so this whole time his mom had worked for Thomas Wayne, and
writing him letters.
She's writing him letters because they're living in poverty and they need help and whatever. And he says, anyone who's worked for me or works for me is like family and like blah blah blah. And she's assuming that he's gonna help her.
And Arthur's like, why do you keep writing these notes?
Arthur's like, he's obviously not gonna write you back. Like, he's a busy man. Blah blah blah. Like he said, he's a very busy man. Whatever. So the one night, she's like, oh, I wrote another letter. I need you to mail it. It's super important. And he's like, presumably at this point, she's probably written dozens of letters.
Oh, yeah.
And not gotten anything back. Because he comes home every time, checks the mail, and not a lick of mail.
Yeah, not even a bill.
I know, right?
Like, what the hell's going on here?
Presumably 1981. There's paper bills.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just... So he opens the letter and reads it.
Yes.
And it's his mom detailing of like, blah blah blah. This like we're in trouble. That my son is great, and then she goes on to say, I need help with your son.
And that part, I was like, holy shit.
Me too. I was like, what?
Are you telling me this is Batman's brother? Batman and Joker are brothers.
Now that I'm thinking about it, what it's like? It's like Austin Powers and Dr. Evil turning out to be brothers. And Austin Powers Gold member.
Yes.
I'm like, of course.
Just like the two most like arch nemesis.
Yeah.
They're brothers.
Well, exactly. That's what it is. The golden child becomes the defender of good.
Yeah.
And
it's like Thor and Loki.
The son that was cast away.
Yeah.
Becomes the bad guy.
And it got me super excited. Like, I'm like, where are they going with this?
Yes.
Like, what's going to happen?
Like, regardless of, like... Because after they said this is a standalone film, it's not in the universe, I'm like, fucking do whatever you want. Just make it awesome.
And I don't remember ever seeing or hearing any adaptation like that.
No.
That they're related or anything like that, So.
No, because presumably, at least in this movie, he's 25 years older than Bruce. You know?
Yeah, and she said 30 years ago, and Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, he looks older than 30. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So, I mean, I'm assuming she's saying he's around 30. He's probably like 28 right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know,
but we also know he was malnourished as a kid.
Correct.
He was beaten. He was in a hospital. So he could look older than he is. You know, that would be interesting to get the director's take on how old he is.
Yeah, I want to purchase this movie. I want to purchase the director's cut, and I've never watched a movie with director's cut. I want to watch this movie with director's cut because I want to know what the director was thinking.
Yeah.
Like where he. I just want to.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Oh, there will be a director's cut.
There has to
for sure.
It has to be. So he gets pretty angry.
Yeah, he gets angry, and she's like,
"I won't talk to you.
You're gonna give me a heart attack. I won't talk to you while you're mad." Blah blah blah.
How about his laugh?
Oh God.
How about his laugh?
I can't do it. I wish Brendan went with us because maybe he could do it because he's really good at doing voices. But
his laugh. Yeah.
I can't do it. It's not even close. But it's just it's so. Right now my ringtone for my text messages is fucking Seth Rogen's laugh. I might have to change it to Joaquin Phoenix Joker laugh.
Dude, I can't even imagine that happened in a quiet area and there's people around you and that shit goes off on your phone. Stop it.
That's great. It's great.
His laugh, I guess
he said in an interview that he put together a bunch of different laughs from other Jokers and he wanted to make it uncomfortable to hear.
Yeah.
And it is uncomfortable to hear.
Yeah, he said I think in an interview he said he used actually mentally ill people.
Yeah, he took some of the Joker's laughs and some mentally handicapped or mentally ill. I don't want to say handicapped because they're not mentally ill people's laughs, and it's a great laugh. It's a great Joker laugh. It kind of makes you want to itch something that you can't itch. You're just like it's like trying to itch behind your eyeball.
So pretty much after this letter, now he's trying to get in touch with Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, because now he thinks that Thomas Wayne is his dad.
Yeah.
Because at this point he's like, my mom wouldn't lie to me. Like, why would my mom lie to me? Yeah. She's been there my whole life. So minor crap goes on, whatever. It's not really that pertinent.
It's story. They're just
it's story. Just building up story. But we brushed right over him. Okay, so the night he got fired, we brushed over. We forgot about him.
Oh my God!
Yeah, the biggest part of the movie. So, all right, the night he got fired, he has the gun. He goes home on the train. He goes home on the train, and there's these drunk businessmen who come on the train, and they start harassing a woman. And you're like, okay, this is where maybe he's like, I'm going to try and be like the quote-unquote anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to try and be an anti-hero, and he realizes that's not happening. But that's not what happened. He kind of sat there, and she looks at him to, like, help kind of. And he breaks into his fit of laughter that he has.
Yeah, it feels like it's brought on with nervousness. The laugh. Being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just
I would say that, laughing. Or it's almost like he said later. He said that he goes, when I laugh, it's not a condition; it's the real me.
Oh, so it's a joke. You'll never get it.
Yeah, so I think it's more of like it's brought on when he's in situations where he feels normal, like because he's like, as we know, the Joker is a psychopath. He is crazy. He does crazy things. So I think when he's in dangerous situations, or I don't know, it's weird because we see him laugh in the club. Like he has this fit of laughter in the club when he goes up on stage.
Yeah, I feel because he's uncomfortable. He's nervous.
Yeah, when she comes to see him.
When the lady yells at him on a bus or train, he's uncomfortable.
Yeah. So these three men are drunk. The guy throws a French fry at her, and she gets up and leaves. And he is in his fit of laughter, and they're like start coming over and they're harassing him. And then they take his bag. He gets up and they start beating him.
Yeah.
And he's got his gun.
He tries to fight a little bit,
and he gets fucking socked and just dropped to the ground. So they're starting to kick him, just like the kids who jumped him did. And like the guy who gave him the gun said, it's to protect yourself. And I always have this gripe with movies because I'm a gun owner and I know guns. He's got a .38 revolver, snub nose, 6 rounds in the gun. So he gets put down. They're kicking him, and you hear the first bang. And let me tell you, this is what made me love the movie immediately. They did gunshots right in this movie. Those gunshots were deafening. They were
loud.
They were loud because you watch like John Wick or you watch like anything that's got a gun. They're just like boom, boom. Like you shoot a gun without ear protection on, and if you were in that car when that gun went off, your ears would be literally because it's so they did it great. So you hear the first loud, just this loud bang,
and then splatter, boom,
splatter, and then another one right in him again. So that's 2. The next guy, because they're all like shocked because that guy dropped to the ground. The next guy, boom, boom, boom.
3, which is 5 shots.
That's 5 shots. He's got 1 more. The third fat guy is running. He shoots him in the ass. That's 6. Gun's empty.
Yeah, he reloads. You don't know if he doesn't reload.
He's carrying a snub-nosed .38. Those bullets are this long. They're about an inch long.
Yeah, but he had a bunch of them.
In a bag. He was carrying it on him. Where are they in his pocket, just loose? Because they would have probably fell out of a pocket when he got knocked on his ass. I'm just saying.
They should have. What they should have done is show him reload.
Yeah.
Where you go from he was self-defense to him going like, shit.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to kill this motherfucker.
It's not conducive to the movie. It has nothing to do with it. But it's one of those things that gets me because I'm especially when like you see a guy. All right, so it's a revolver. You pull the trigger, the hammer comes back, and it fires.
Correct.
It's not like the old timey ones where you have to pull the hammer back and then it fires. I'm not talking like the flintlocks. I'm talking about like the old West ones. You can take an old West gun, you can pull the trigger, it won't do anything. You have to pull the hammer back. That's called a single action revolver. Okay. So the 38s are double action. You can pull the trigger and it's a heavy pull and it'll pull the hammer back. You can pull the hammer back and then just shoot it. So I hate in movies when it's the semi-autos, like the slides, you rack the slide. I hate when they do those in movies and you see it, there's someone with it and they got it and it's empty, the slide's back and you just hear go click, 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 because it doesn't do that. There are very few semi-auto guns that are double action. None of them do that. So the next time you watch a movie and you see someone with an empty gun and they're like trying to shoot someone, it's like click, click, it doesn't do that. But anyway, so the fat guy runs away because he only got shot in the ass.
You were cracking up.
Oh god, it was funny because he's grabbing his ass.
He got shot in the ass. Then the blood dripping from his leg and making a puddle on the ground. Just the usage of blood in this movie. I know, it was
so great. So great. So, and then they're doing this thing where they're like at a door, like down from each other, and like, he's looking and he's looking. They're like, oh, when's he gonna come out? And he fucking comes out and he's hobbling away, and there's Arthur with his snub nose, and they're in the subway platform.
Oh, it's so loud.
Just boom, 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 and you're just like,
how you not hear this shit?
Oh, because you want to know what it is? Same thing if it was New York City, it's Gotham, it's riddled with crime. Everyone's like, it's not my problem, and like we said about that person who got stabbed in Sears at the mall.
Everyone was like,
I don't want to be the next victim.
Yeah, chilling.
So they're like, I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything. It's someone else's problem. Someone else will call 911.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. So, and he just runs away. He runs away.
Even his run was like.
I love how he runs in that movie.
Even his run was weird, dude.
I love how he runs it. It's this really like high up, like high legged, like
unathletic,
this
run,
high
dude.
Running like
a fucking. It's like a giraffe running.
Yes,
like, it's like
it is. It's like watching like a baby horse run.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. He just pulls his legs up really high and takes these long strides.
Yeah, it's like a clown run.
Yeah,
that's how a clown runs.
How a clown would run in his big shoes.
Correct.
Exactly. I didn't think of that. So
that was a huge part of it.
Yeah, huge part because it was 3 guys who worked for Thomas Wayne, and they were Wall Street guys. They're the rich.
Yeah.
They're the rich guys, and there's a big divide between the rich and poor in Gotham at this time.
So it just starts a huge problem.
Yeah, huge thing. And the poor are like, fuck them.
Yeah, good thing they died.
Yeah, good thing they died, and this and that, and let's rise up and revolt and kill the rich. And so he inadvertently, accidentally started this revolution in the city, which he didn't even intend to do. He was literally just trying to protect himself.
Yeah.
He was literally, at that point in the movie, he was a struggling man. A struggling comic, but he's just he's a struggling man taking care of his mom, who we find out has mental illness, and so does he.
Yes.
And he's just trying to take care of himself, and his city's basically shitting on him. And he finally fights back and causes this ginormous explosion of riots in the city. It starts. There's protests. There's all sorts of shit. What are you doing?
No. Go. So back to what we were talking. What do we when go? He's just found out that he was Thomas Wayne's son.
Oh yes. Okay.
That's where we were.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. After that, he finds out this because he kind of comes home and he realizes he doesn't care that he killed those guys.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of he almost kind of feels better after he killed him. It's kind of like he felt better.
Yeah, a little.
He kind of
felt like himself.
Yeah. So he comes home and the letter and this, and he reads it, and then he goes to one of the what is it? The protests at a showing of a Charlie Chaplin film.
Well, before that, he went to Thomas.
Oh
Wayne's
yes,
house.
he went to Wayne Manor.
Yes.
To try and confront him about it.
And how did you feel about this part?
And he Joe Biden'd that kid.
You said he Joe Biden that kid.
He Joe Biden that kid.
He just stuck his fingers in a kid's mouth.
Hey, Joe Biden him.
Maybe he was choking. I don't know. But come on, dude. When he wraps his hands around Bruce Wayne's little face.
Oh god.
And I'm like, is he gonna choke this fucking
No, you don't remember this?
I forgot about that.
Scene?
And then when I saw his face.
Yeah, and he's just trying to make him smile.
With his dirty ass fingers in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm presuming that was Alfred that came out.
I am presuming that was Alfred as well. I don't like if that was Alfred, but I'm presuming it was.
Why don't you like that as Alfred?
I don't know. Alfred's always been an old Englishman with gray hair.
Well, yeah,
skinny.
when Bruce is old.
I get it.
When Bruce is older.
I get it. You know who the best?
I was like, Ricky Gervais should have played that part. Because when that guy came up,
Ricky Gervais should have played that guy.
He kind of looks like Ricky Gervais.
He does.
And Ricky Gervais would have been amazing.
I have to say the best Alfred is the most recent one, I think. Because Alfred is...
the one in Justice League?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like him the best. Even though who was the one in Dark Knight?
Oh,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I know.
He was good because he played more of the Alfred from the animated series that we grew up with.
Yeah.
But the Alfred in Justice League and Batman vs Superman is more of like the Alfred that probably would have been real.
But the thing is,
because Alfred
wasn't as old as he should have been with how old Ben Affleck is. As Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At that point, Alfred should be like a crippled old man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, we presume it's Alfred. He literally he tries to do some magic tricks to make Bruce kind of like
feel comfortable,
which is like probably really creeping him out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's pedophile.
Yeah.
That's
literally very
pedophile.
Yeah. In this scene, and he makes him smile, and then like when I say make him smile, he uses his fingers to fucking
make him smile.
And then all of a sudden, presumably Alfred comes in as like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm Penny Fleck's son. Like, she told me all about her and Thomas Wayne." And he's like,
there was no her and Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. And then he like starts choking him.
Joker starts choking Alfred. And through the railing. Through this gate. Wrought iron gate.
Yeah.
And Alfred really bitched out there.
Oh!
I was like, the hell, man?
He's Alfred.
The hell, Alfred?
He's Alfred.
But I'm also thinking of the show Gotham. That Alfred.
I never watched it.
He taught Bruce how to fight. So that Alfred knows how to fight.
Yeah.
In Gotham.
That's
just like, punch him, Alfred.
Yeah. So in Gotham, Alfred taught Bruce how to fight.
Just to defend himself as a young kid. Then he gets hooked up with Ra's al Ghul.
Okay. So that happens, and then he goes to the protest after because he couldn't get to Thomas Wayne there. So he sneaks in to this viewing,
which was extremely easy.
Well, because they started fighting with the cops, so the cops were all focused on that. Not anyone slipping by.
But think about the animated series and how Joker would always do stuff like that, wear like different costumes, and be in places. It's like a behind the scenes. Like, I'm just gonna go in here. Yeah. I'm gonna put on this little.
Get the answer to that on.
Just chill the hell out, Siri. And he put on his little like the bellhop or the whatever.
Oh, dude, definitely. This whole movie reeked of animated series Joker.
Oh, yeah.
It's all I saw in it was because even his weird dancing.
Yes.
The Joker always did some sort of weird dancing, sidestepping stuff in the animated series with Mark Hamill playing. Just fantastic. I don't know. It's just hands down great what he did.
A little bit of Charlie Chaplin. Yeah. Everyone's laughing.
Yeah.
It would have been funny to do his laugh. It would have been funny to hear his laugh during that part.
I thought he was gonna do it. I thought it was gonna break out.
And then Thomas Wayne looked like, what the fuck?
Oh, well, okay.
You know what I mean?
So he sees Thomas Wayne get up from his balcony seats.
Yes.
And he's like presumably going to the bathroom. So he runs to the bathroom. And he meets him
big
in there.
Creeper status.
Oh, dude, just standing there
staring
watching him piss.
Got dick out.
And he's
pissing.
He's like, can I help you? You want an autograph? Whatever. And he's like, and then he tells him, he's like, I'm Penny's son. She told me you're my father. And he starts calling him Dad.
Like, what do you want, money?
And he goes, oh, you're the one that came to my house the other day.
Come to my house again, I'll fucking kill you.
He goes, you touch my son again, I'll kill you.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, Thomas Wayne, gangster.
Right?
So, I mean, that was a big part. Well, no, but this is when he broke the news.
Yeah, that's
I'm not your dad.
Thomas said, I'm not your dad. You were adopted.
And your
mom is mentally ill.
Yeah. She went to Arkham Hospital.
Asylum.
It was Arkham Hospital.
Oh, Arkham Hospital. Okay.
Or whatever like that.
So, he's like...
This broke him.
Yeah, he like freaks out, and then Thomas punches him in the face.
Yeah.
He took so many shots to the face in this movie.
He sure did.
Which, if you think about it...
He could take a punch.
If you think about it, Mark Hamill as the Joker in the animated series.
Joker
got punched a lot in the face.
And so did
Heath Ledger got his shit beat out of him in that.
It was kind of a mixture between Heath Ledger and Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
You know?
But it was very, like, Killing Joke-esque. Like, how it's... Because the Killing Joke is... I believe you might be able to get it on...
I've seen it.
Is it... Oh, did you? Okay, because I have it on the
on your app, yeah.
Okay.
But I've seen that. I should watch it again because it was... I thought that's what they're...
It's very... I think they wanted to do this... I think they wanted to do this convergence of two stories because... I don't think they wanted to redo the... I think it was... I don't remember who did the animated one, but anyway... It was just good. It was good how they did it. It was set kind of in the timeline. The scenarios were kind of close.
But in Killing Joke, there were flashbacks.
In Killing Joke...
These weren't flashbacks.
But in Killing Joke, he was married and his wife was having a baby and he was struggling as a comedian.
Yes.
And he got in working with the mob and then they turned on him and that's when he fell into the vat of shit. Mm-hmm. Like we saw with Jared Leto. Yeah, Jared Leto.
Oh, yeah.
Her and Harley Quinn fell into the
vat.
Jack Nicholson too,
Nicholson.
Yeah. That's
who had a dancing montage
as well. Every Joker, his movie. Well, because Cesar Romero did too.
Yeah,
it was all part of his thing. He's crazy. Where were we at? What were we talking about?
So he just got punched in the face by Thomas Wayne in the bathroom.
Yes.
So he goes to Arkham Hospital.
Yes, because he wants to know if this is true. So he goes in there and he asks for the records, and this dude's
the polite black guy got him the records, said, I can't give you this shit.
Yeah, but he read it to him.
Yeah.
And is like, this and that, and...
So his mother was for sure...
Yeah, it literally read, like, verbatim, she's...
What Thomas Wayne said.
Yes. She's delusional, she's, whatever else it said, I don't remember, but the delusions immediately rang true. Like, immediately is like, oh, she's delusional. She keeps saying he's Thomas Wayne's son.
Correct.
So,
I mean, long story short, he rips the file out of his hand, reads it, comes to find out he is definitely adopted.
He is adopted.
Yes.
And his mom, like, neglected him, let her boyfriend at the time, like, beat him and her.
Yeah.
And he was found tied to a radiator with a head trauma, which I'm assuming the head trauma is what caused his mental illness, and that's why he spent time in Arkham Asylum until he got better. Because we did see a flashback where he's in Arkham Asylum and he's smashing his head against the wall or the window in the beginning when he's in the counselor's room.
Yes.
So,
I don't know if it with the girl before this happened. I don't know if it's before or after. He's in the comedy show. He gets on stage, starts freaking out, laughing. He says a joke, wasn't that funny. People laugh. They broke out into the date scene.
Yeah.
But Robert De Niro used that.
Yeah.
Used the footage.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Well,
Robert De Niro used on the show.
So Robert De Niro's character Murray.
It's like a David Letterman, Jay Leno character,
nighttime talk show. As kids today would know as Jimmy Fallon. Conan. And they basically use it as like a blooper reel. Like, look at this. Literally, he says this Joker.
Yeah. He calls him a Joker.
Yeah, and
kind of makes fun of him.
Yeah, but doesn't kind of make fun of him. Really makes fun of him. And that's kind of like his spiral. His mom was in the hospital because detectives came and questioned his mom looking for Arthur about the three killings on the train, and she got all upset, started hyperventilating, and had a stroke.
Correct.
So they're in the hospital at this point.
His girlfriend's comforting him.
Yeah.
So
it's just, it's this spiral. It's continuously the city it's the swirling effect of he just keeps getting deeper into this shit.
While in the hospital, he sees Robert De Niro's character Murray making fun of him on the TV. So another straw. Mm-hmm. Step two, check.
Yep. And mom's.
Oh, actually, that's step 3.
Yeah.
Step 2. Find out his mom was crazy.
Yeah. So
adopted.
So I think he's at home, kind of just laying in bed and whatever, and he gets the call from Murray Franklin's office about coming on the show to do the thing, because it's not until after that what you're thinking happens.
Okay.
So he gets the call and whatever, and then I think that actually happened before he got the records. Okay. Maybe. Because I'm like, oh, they said next Thursday. I was like, oh, that's probably a few days away. There's a lot of shit that can happen in a few days.
Then he gets the records.
Yeah, I think he gets the records, and then he, loses it.
He goes to the hospital.
Yeah.
Kills his mother.
Yep.
Smothers her with a pillow. That's when he runs home in the rain. Home in the rain.
Okay, so he comes. So we talked about this before. He walks home in downpouring rain, and
you're in love with the score.
Anyone who's had a bad day and you get caught in the rain and you're just fucking soaked and you're just like,
you're wet already.
You're just fuck it. It's whatever at this point. And he's soaked. He goes right into
his girlfriend's house.
Yeah, right into his girlfriend's house.
Sits on the couch.
And that's when
She comes out.
No. Hold on. That's when everything changes in this movie.
Yeah, dude.
The entire fucking tone of the movie just changed. Okay, so he's sitting there.
But the whole time, I'm like, didn't you feel bad for him? Didn't it make you feel bad for him? You said no, but like before that part, I'm like, damn, I kind of feel bad for this guy. Like they're making you trying to make you feel bad for him.
I didn't feel bad. That was the oh shit moment of this movie for me because he comes into his girlfriend's house.
Yes.
Sits on the couch and you don't see anyone. And he's kind of like touching everything and like being really creepy. Yes. And then you hear her daughter, and then she comes out of her daughter's room, and she's like, she gets scared.
She screams immediately a little bit.
Scared.
Yeah.
Because even if it was your boyfriend and you saw them sitting on the couch, you weren't expecting them. Holy fuck, scare the shit out of you. So, and she's like, "You're in the wrong apartment.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?" And then she's like,
"Can I call your mother?"
She's like, "Well, no." She's like, "Isn't your name Arthur?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Isn't your name Arthur?"
Like,
I'm like, holy fuck! And then they start.
You're like, this was a delusion.
I literally said, "I go, the whole thing was a delusion." And then they start the flashbacks where he's at the door, no one's there talking to him. At the fucking club,
comedy show,
no one's there
watching him.
On the date, he's looking at the stuff and they're talking. No one's there. The whole relationship was a delusion that he really thought happened. And I'm just like, holy fuck. And he realizes it was an entire delusion. And he's like, he just goes back to his house.
We don't know what happened.
Oh, I'm presuming he left.
He left.
I don't think he killed her. Yeah.
They left that open.
I don't think he did. Because why would they not show that?
Yeah. Especially
with everything they did show, like him murdering his friend. Like true. I think he just left because that was like the shock of the holy shit. My world's rocked because I don't know what
this just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know what's real, what's fake.
Yeah. So, all right. So then, I think after that was when he went to the hospital and got the paperwork. And then he kills his mom, and he goes to the hospital where she is and smothers her with a pillow.
Correct.
So he smothers her with a pillow and kills her, goes home, and he's getting ready to go on the Murray show because he's putting the makeup on.
Which wasn't makeup. That was like fucking household paint.
Oh, I don't know what it was.
That looked like household paint.
I wasn't really paying attention, but I was assuming it was just makeup, whatever, that he was using before. So... Because he was using a big paintbrush, because you're not going to use a small paintbrush to paint your whole face white.
He was using one before.
We didn't see him. He was doing little makeup with like the tiny one when we saw him earlier. It wasn't the whole white. But anyway, he's crazy because he's putting on the makeup and then he's like licking the paintbrush and like painting his tongue white and everything too. Oh. So he's losing it. And then the doorbell rings, and it's the guy who gave him the gun that he worked with, and
his little buddy. This little person that worked at his last job.
Yeah. And
they heard about his mother.
Yeah, they heard about his mother. Like, oh, we came over to cheer you up. And then the guy with the gun is like, he's like, oh, the police were over, asking about you and like seeing if anyone knew anything. And he's like, I just want to get my story straight. And because he gave him the gun and he wasn't supposed to give him the gun.
Yeah.
And all this other stuff. So he's afraid he's gonna get in trouble. And that's when Arthur fucking stabs him in the neck with a pair of scissors and then right in the eye, and in the most brutal way ever, continues to bash his head into the wall and splatters blood everywhere. Just on the wall, the floor, on his freshly white painted face, and his buddy
is freaking out.
Is just
like
cowered
you would,
in the corner.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
You're like, he's like, Arthur, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And nice Arthur is like,
he's like, you can go. And then like the door's locked. He goes, Arthur, can you get the door? And
because he's a little person.
Yeah.
The freaking chain's locked. He's
that's why
Arthur's sitting on the ground next to his dead body.
I thought especially when he unlocked the chain and then he closed the door and turned around and said, you were always the nicest to me or whatever. I thought he was gonna kill him right there.
I thought when he walked through, he was gonna bash his head in the door.
Oh, yeah,
close it. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit.
So I was just shocked that he let him go.
He let him go though.
So, and then he goes on the Murray Show.
Yeah.
He goes on the Murray Show. He's in his new red suit with his yellow vest.
A big part on his way to the Murray Show. There's cops chasing.
Yeah, the cops that have been
this
investigating.
huge riot is about to start.
Yeah.
Tons of people in clown makeup, masks.
Well, okay, so yeah, he's doing his little dance on the stairs that we see him climb every day to go home. And the cops are like, Arthur, we're looking, we want to ask you some questions. And he books it.
Yes.
Books it. He gets hit by a car. He gets up.
His fucking gazelle run.
His antelope run.
Yeah.
And so he gets on the subway, and they get on the subway too, and it's packed with people in their clown makeup for this protest. And the cop was dumb because they're chasing Arthur, and he pulls his gun out and he's telling people to move, and he fucking.
Which they're already rioting.
They're already ramped up. No, it's not a riot yet. It's a protest. It's a protest because it doesn't turn in.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
So, and the cop pulls his gun out and he's like this. He's trying to get people to move out of the way so we can get to Arthur.
But the dumb part, he's lifting up masks. Obviously, he has paint on his face.
But what's the first thing you're going to do? Even if you got paint on your face, you're going to put a mask over your face.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Which was the bank robbery scene by Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah. He had the same. The makeup is actually, I think, the same as what Heath Ledger's mask was.
Yes.
Yeah. Which not until now I didn't even think about it as another nod to Heath Ledger, which I'd like. So, I don't know. It's just all in all.
So he eventually gets.
Yeah, he gets. Okay, so the cop is fucking pointing his gun at all these guys that are ready to go off because they're going to this protest, and they're living in poverty, and they're suppressed by the rich and whatever, and this guy starts fighting with the cop, and the cop shoots him by accident. They're wrestling over the gun, shoots him, and then the whole train starts swarming the two cops.
Yeah. Beats him up, puts him in critical condition.
And they're in critical condition, and Arthur gets away, and he does his little jig on his way out, and
puts the mask in the garbage. Yep. Classic Joker style.
Yep.
And goes on his way to the Murray Show.
Yeah. So he's in the green room
and this
on the
is
Murray
when you
Show.
can tell he's really starting to come into
his Joker.
Be the Joker.
So he's in there. He's smoking his cigarettes. He's written on the mirror in makeup. Put on a happy face. Oh, I loved it when he. Okay, so rewind a little bit. When he got fired and he was cleaning out his locker, I loved it when he went down the stairs. It says put his. It says don't forget to smile, and he takes a marker out and it's the old Sharpies that he had to shake up, and he fucking crosses out. Forget to. Yeah. So it says don't smile.
But how about when he says, "Oh, I forgot to punch out"?
Oh, he comes back and he goes, "Oh, I forgot to punch out," and he punches the fucking punch clock until it falls off the wall. I burst out laughing because you want to know something? That's something I would do.
Like, oh, I forgot to punch out.
That's something I would do.
Done. So we're now in the green room at the Murray Show.
Back to he's in the green room at the Murray Show. And
Murray comes in.
And immediately. This really fucked me, man. Because that producer pissed me off. Because he gets up and he goes, "Oh, Murray, nice to meet you." He goes, "It's Mr. Franklin."
Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to punch him right in the face.
And Robert De Niro's like, "Yo, it's okay."
He's like,
"It's Murray, man.
It's okay, it's Murray."
And he's like, "This makeup? Are you part of the protest?" And he's like, "No, I don't believe in anything."
No. Because in reality, he's not. He just he accidentally lit the fire under the people.
But he said, "I don't believe in anything."
Yeah, which we know.
And also, he said, "I don't care about money. I don't want money."
As Heath Ledger's famous words, he goes, I'm not a man with a plan. I'm a dog chasing cars. I just want to watch the world burn." Yeah. Like, he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't believe in anything. He just wants to fuck it all.
Yeah.
You know? So they're talking. He goes, "Oh, we'll bring you out after Dr. What's-Her-Face." And he goes, "I love her. I love Dr. What's-Her-Face." And he goes, "Oh, one more thing, Murray." He goes, Can you bring me out as the Joker?" And he goes, why? He goes, well, that's what you called me when you played my video. You called me a Joker. He goes, I did? He goes, well, if that's what you want, that's what
you got it, kid.
Yep, you got it. So they bring him out. This was the best.
So confident.
So confident. He's smoking a cigarette. He starts his little,
does his dance twist.
Yeah, and then he comes out of the curtain. He does his dance moves. He does a spin. And he walks right up to the doctor and he fucking plants one on the doctor.
It's
this
60-some-year-old
woman. And she's just like, ah! Like, it doesn't make any
Robert
noise.
De Niro's like,
yeah.
Are you okay, doctor?
Yeah, he's like, okay.
It's like, Jesus.
And he does this very, like, very
Joker-esque.
confident, this very confident sit in the chair, and he's just like,
this is who I am.
But the silence was perfect, because especially on air, like, we're recording this, we don't want silence, we don't want dead air, and he's just quiet, and Murray's kind of like,
so how are you doing?
And he goes, yep. He goes, this is exactly how I imagined it. He goes, not me.
He's like, at least that makes one of us.
Yeah, at least that makes one of us.
Yeah.
And it's just perfectly done. Just especially okay. So pause for a second. This movie was so perfectly shot compared to the last superhero movie that I just recently watched, which was so horribly shot.
What was that?
Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix, so bad.
Yeah, we'll review that one soon.
Never.
No, we'll review it soon. We'll review it soon.
We'll review that one.
Because
never.
it needs to be reviewed because a lot of the choices that the director or whoever chose, they need to be hit with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Because it was
bad movie, bad flick.
No, the story wasn't bad. The execution of the shots and choices that they made was bad.
So it's night and day.
Yeah. So beautifully done. So he's sitting there, and just as he rehearsed in his apartment of how he's Robert De Niro asked him to tell a joke, and he rehearsed that he was going to tell a joke and pull his gun out and shoot himself under the chin and blow his brains out.
Yes. So
Robert De Niro's character, he goes, you've been working on material. Let's hear a joke. Let's hear a joke. And he sits forward and he pulls something out from behind his back, and I'm like, here it is.
It's gonna happen.
I'm like, here it is. He's gonna get the gun ready. And because at this point, he's in full makeup, whatever, and he's already getting mad. I don't think he's gonna kill himself. Number one, because we know the movie. I'm like, he's gonna blow Murray's head off. Yeah. But
it's just his joke book.
It's joke book.
It's his notebook.
It's his notebook, and he goes, "Oh, you got a book of jokes?" Like, kind of be like, "Oh, real comedians don't read off of books," which is actually false. A lot of guys who work on material either are working on new material for like a new hour or whatever, have it on their phone, or they have a book or whatever. They always, all the time. So
comes across a little excerpt.
Speaking of which, I keep telling the story.
So he opens up his notebook, comes across just a paragraph he wrote, a little sentence, talking about, I hope my life when I die it means something more than I live, or something like that. No,
the line was, I hope my death means more than, or makes more sense than my life. Yeah. Which,
light bulb, like, as at this point, his death wouldn't make more sense than his life.
I gotta look up, because I told you when he was at the comedy club when he was about to go up. Yeah. I knew the voice. I gotta look it up who it is. So keep going on. I'm pretty sure it was Mike Cannon.
So he starts a joke, knock knock. Murray makes fun of that. You need to look that up. So he knocked.
Oh no, it was Sam. Oh no, there's two of them, but it's neither one of them I know. Sam Morrell and Gary Goldman. Oh, maybe Gary Goldman is who I'm thinking of. I have to hear his voice, but it sounded like Mike Cannon.
But it was not.
No, it wasn't.
So he tells a knock knock joke about a mother.
Oh yeah,
a drunk driver hit her kid.
His jokes were great. I'm sorry, because like,
I feel like that wasn't a joke though.
Okay, all right. There's a famous line, because every time every time he told a joke or whatever, because it's not an actual joke.
Yeah.
Like as we would with a punchline. So there's a famous line from Futurama that kept popping up in his head, or kept popping up in my head when he would tell jokes. So Bender says, he goes, comedy's a dead art form. Now tragedy is funny. That's the line. So the whole time he's telling these horrible jokes, he goes, knock, knock, who's there? It's the police, ma'am.
Yeah.
Your son has been hit by a drunk driver and he's dead. Tragedy is funny. I laughed at that because it was like.
Well, I laughed because I was like, what?
Yeah. So I laughed because like they're like that's what I was thinking in my head is, comedy's a dead art form. Tragedy, now that's funny.
Yeah.
So
Murray's like, hey, that's not funny.
No, the doctor next to him. She goes, that's not funny. You can't joke about that.
Yeah, Murray's
and then Murray's like, we don't do jokes like that out here. And then he, what did he do?
Oh man, he said some great line.
But then he starts rattling off of. Sabrina was texting me, so I missed part of it.
I can't. It's not word for word.
I know. I missed.
It's a great line.
I missed part of it. He said, "What do you get when you mix a mentally ill comedian with something with the city?" And then I missed it because she was calling me and I was trying to text it back during the movie. It was great. It was a great line. And then I missed I know what happened because it was in peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So you got to fill me in. So he says the line and then something happens and he pulls the gun out and he shoots Murray right in the head.
It was his punchline, something like said dun, dun, dun.
I know, right?
Bam, shot him.
Great movie review.
Right,
Both of us can't remember what the fuck it was.
I mean, it'd be different if we rewatched it, wrote it down. You know what I mean? But bam, shot him. Everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
Running away. Dude's hugging the doctor.
Yeah.
But he's just sitting there. He's just chilling. Like, he didn't just do something.
No, and then he gets up and he goes up to the TV camera and he grabs it like this. He grabs it. And he's like, saying something about, he's about to go because at the end Murray always said that's life, and he's about to go and then it kicks him off.
Yeah.
And so they cut to a bunch of TV screens.
It's saying Murray was killed on live TV.
And blah,
jumps
blah, blah.
to Arthur in the back of a cop car.
Yeah. So Arthur's in the back of a cop car, and this is the scene that we talked about where he's got his head leaned against the window, and you see the lights going by, and it's the nod to Heath Ledger with his. He's just like
that
euphoric. He's kind of just like euphoric and just like
beautifully shot, beautifully done.
Yeah, just beautifully done.
Very tasteful.
And then he's talking to the he starts laughing. The cop's like, "What's so funny? Like this isn't fucking funny." Blah blah blah. And then.
So, outside riots are going on.
Oh yeah,
people
riots
are
burning
shit because
literally the
his
city is
killing was on live TV.
Yeah,
that started the riot.
And he admitted to killing the 3 guys on the train.
On the Murray show.
Yeah, on the Murray show. He admitted on the Murray show. So the city is going bonkers. Just what I imagine what Buffalo would look like if we won the Super Bowl. Yeah.
So everyone's burning shit, breaking windows, rioting.
Yeah.
And he's loving it. He's laughing. Oh yeah. Not funny.
He's great.
It's just not funny.
So and then they get T-boned by a
ambulance.
An ambulance, and these clown guys get out and they're like looking and they're like waving people over and they're pointing and they're like it's him. And they pull him out of the car and they put him on the hood. And my first thing is like, why the fuck would you put him on the hood? Yeah. What if the car explodes? Yeah. But anyway, they put him on the hood, and all of a sudden, it cuts to another section of the city while the riots are going on, and there's Thomas Wayne and Martha and Bruce coming out of the movie theater. And at this point, I'm jabbing Joe. He's like, I know. I know. I'm like, it's gonna happen. And they go into the alleyway, and there's a guy with his clown mask on, and he pulls his gun out. He goes, "You're gonna get what you deserve." Bang, bang.
And like always, which is the most beautiful thing, the pearls come off the necklace.
Yep. Yeah.
You hear him hit the ground.
Yep.
You gotta do it. You gotta.
Once again,
blood splatter.
The beautifulness of the blood splatter when he shoots Martha Wayne and fucking splatters across Bruce's face.
Oh.
Just, and he just stands there like a statue.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
Too bad it didn't do your little thing and try to shoot Bruce and went...
So, then they flash back... Or not flashback, but they cut back over to Arthur on the police car. Now Joker.
Waking up.
He's waking up, and he's...
spitting up blood.
He's awake. He's standing up on the hood.
No, he spits up blood.
Oh yeah, yes, he does. That's right. He spit up blood. And he gets up and he like stands up and he sees all these people, and he's bleeding obviously from the mouth or whatever. And he takes so perfectly. He takes his index and middle finger on each hand and he feels it.
Takes blood out of his mouth.
He takes blood out of his mouth and he just puts a smile on, and it was just epic. It was epic.
I was like, Jake, I hope you wore your boner pants.
Oh god, dude. I was fucking flipping my boner up in my goddamn waistband.
It hides it and it feels great.
It was perfect.
Oh.
The waistband and the part of the movie. So
he does his little dance.
He does his little dance, and this is when you see you're like, this is it. This is how he gets his legion of
his followers.
His followers and his henchmen.
Yes.
This is where he gets his henchmen, because not everyone's going to continue to follow him. But there's going to be, like, those guys who pulled him out of that car. Those guys are going to be his dudes. You know?
And Joker-esque, they come and save him out of the cop car.
Yeah.
He never gets caught.
The Joker always would get saved somehow in the end.
Yes.
Somehow.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's just... And then... Bam. It's black. And it cuts to... There's Arthur in the Arkham Asylum.
Bright-ass white room.
Bright white room. And he's talking to a lady, and he's laughing.
Starts laughing.
He starts his laughter that he can't stop, and she's like, "Is something funny?" And you would think at this point, because he's got a record, they would know he's got an issue with laughing. So why is this doctor asking him
something funny? He's like, "I'm working on a joke."
No, he said it's a joke. I just thought of a joke. She goes, "You want to tell me?" He goes, "You wouldn't understand." And then he starts singing "It's a Wonderful Life."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something to do with happiness. I can't remember. I know the song. It's a famous song, but whatever. He's singing the lyrics, and it really goes on to like.
And then it cuts to him walking out of the room.
Okay, yeah. So he's in his front handcuffs, and he walks out of the room.
Still pristine white. White hallway.
And what do we see? He's walking out, and
each step
leaves a blood footprint from his white tennis shoes.
My God!
He gets to the end of the hallway. He does his dance. He turns to the left, and then he realizes that's not the way he wants to go. And he turns to the right, walks that way, and then we see him booking it back to the left again because he's in his gazelle fucking high leg run,
chasing him,
and two orderlies are chasing him.
And then he comes back across the screen again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I don't remember him coming back again.
No, he does his dance, turns to the right, runs. There's people chasing him.
No, he did his dance back. And he went to the left.
Then I just know he runs twice.
Oh no, he runs 3 times. So he went to the left and he didn't want to go that way, so he went to the right. Or no, right. Yeah, you're right. Right, then left. And that's when he gets chased, and he comes back across to the right again. Yeah, I had my left and right. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was just great. It was great.
But like, some footprints were like perfect, and some like he had a little bloody on the back of his pants.
Yeah, and it slipped. Yeah, it wasn't these just perfect picture. Oh,
it was. I've never been so impressed with the usage of blood in a movie.
Yeah. Just hands down the best. Just hands down the best everything. It's going to be real tough for them to follow this movie up, which they definitely open this up for a second movie. There needs to be a second movie because this one was so phenomenally good that if they keep the same director and the same everything, I don't care if it takes 2 years, if it takes 3 years, if it takes 4 years to make, there needs to be a second one because it's how they left it for him. He's obviously escaping. He always escapes. Yeah. I don't care if they pull a Harley Quinn in, but please don't make it Margot Robbie's version because I would be very angry.
You can't.
It needs to be.
This has to be separate from all that.
It needs to be the jumpsuit Jester Harley Quinn.
I would take that.
Yeah.
Love it. And it's funny because you wouldn't think that this universe that would fit, but it kind of fits.
Yeah, especially with the way his makeup is. But what I saw at the end, because his makeup's kind of coming off, and when he puts the smile on, the smile is more indicative of the smile that Mark Hamill had in the animated series. It's this, just plastered on smile. Mm-hmm. And this ear-to-ear grin, which he did with the red makeup, but it was crooked, and it was this, and the makeup on the eyes was coming off at the end, and it just all tied together so well.
Yeah. Overall,
I really liked the hair.
Great flick.
I liked when he dyed the hair. It was.
But the hair was like Heath Ledger.
Yes.
Heath Ledger's hair.
Yeah.
It was such a mixture.
The suit was even Heath Ledger because it was just opposite colors.
Yeah. Even the dress shirt he was wearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was like Heath Ledger.
It's
a mixture of all these different Jokers.
I wish I wasn't a fat man because I would fucking dress like that all the time. I would dress like that all the time. You want to go in my hallway closet? Because I got a fucking ton of old man suit coats in there that I have gotten that are like my green one. I have a green old man suit coat that's like basically his red one, but it's green. It looks just like it. It's fucking great. I would dress like that all the time if I wasn't a fat piece of shit.
You know how many people are going to be dressed as a Joker this year?
A lot. And I'm going to love it.
Like, just to see what people do. It's going to be awesome.
It's
going to be the Harley Quinn of this year.
Everyone who tries to do the laugh and doesn't do it well, I'm punching in the face.
You can't because it's hard.
I'm going to have to wrap my hands because I'm just going to be throwing punches.
it's that laugh, everyone wants to be able to do it.
I'm gonna go as fat Brock Lesnar for Halloween, so I can just punch people in the face. I'm gonna get a big dildo, fucking painted on my chest. I'm gonna be Cock Chestnut for Halloween.
But score the movie. What would you give it?
Oh, fucking 9.5 out of 10.
Dude, it was such a great movie, man.
If you guys are listening and you have not seen this movie, I don't care if you I don't need to see the movie now. Go see the movie.
The movie's awesome.
Go see it. Do not wait for it to come out on DVD. Should have said that in the beginning before we started this, but go see it twice because I'm sure there's shit we missed. There's got to be little nuances of stuff that we have missed. I wish I could watch it again right now at home.
There was times in the movie where I'm like, let me just look at stuff in the background, but then the story, something brought me back to the foreground.
I'm really bad at picking up stuff in the background. I've watched movies 30, 40 times, and I'll watch it again. I'll be like, I never fucking noticed it. I've watched Futurama series. I've probably watched the whole series countless times. I mean, countless times. I can't remember how many times I've watched it. And there's shit that I'll catch that I didn't see. So I know there's shit in the background that I did not see or did not notice, or I'm like, wow, that's really fucking cool.
Yeah. But I would definitely suggest to go see this movie, boys and girls.
Yeah, and this podcast flew by. It's been an hour and 14 minutes.
Damn.
I think, okay, so guys, if you are listening, this is what we're going to do for the most part, is we're going to watch movies and review. I think if you're listening now, I think next episode is we're gonna do Princess Bride.
Princess Bride. That's the plan.
That is the plan. I am going to send Joe off with the DVD tonight because I have it on my Xbox. Joe's gonna take the DVD, and then after that, I think we're gonna do Star Wars Episode 1 through 8.
Yeah, to get ready for.
Yeah, each episode we might actually do between now and then. We might do like 2 episodes a night when we record, so we can get them out because I'm not gonna ask you guys to do an episode every week because it's just not gonna work like we used to. So I think we're going to do 2 episodes a night, so it'll just be 2 hours. And we'll put each episode out. So if you guys want to, catch up yourselves, we're going to break down movies like this every time. We're going to do Princess Bride because, like, it is literally my favorite movie ever. It's so funny. Mel Brooks and just everyone in that movie. Yeah, Andre the Giant.
I haven't seen this movie. It's been such a long time. Yeah. It's like I'm watching. I know
you won't do it because because Brendan's like, oh, like he's like, I'm so bad at summarizing stuff. I'm like, I don't want you to summarize stuff. I want you to watch the movie and either take notes or make mental notes of stuff that you want to bring up. Because we're gonna go through. I know the movie pretty much. Most movies I know from front to back. I have a really good memory on it. And if not, we could also throw the movie on the TV here and put it on mute. So we can kind of fast forward, rewind to what we're talking about. And we are going to break down the movie basically scene by scene like we did today. And from now on, because like this was a really serious movie that we wanted to talk about and like how good it was, a lot of these are going to be funny and we're going to be making fun of some shit. So, like, after the Star Wars stuff, I want to do a lot of 80s action movies. Like, I want to do Commando, I want to do Rocky, I want to do, like, Predator. Like, because some of that stuff, like, especially Commando, we'll watch that. You're just, like, I want to do RoboCop. I want to do... Because a lot of the stuff that happens in those movies, the action movies, are so outrageous. Like, oh...
Just some of the stuff they even say in those movies nowadays. You'll be like, they can't say that shit now. Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about, like, okay, so a little like run into like Commando is like, the end scene of Commando, it's a big firefight with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's just blowing guys away with this machine gun, which never runs out of bullets. And you'll watch it, and it's like there's like 10 guys on scene. And they get shot, and then I'm like, if you like will watch it, I'm pretty sure they like roll across the ground, so you can't see them underneath the shot of the camera, and then they put different clothes on and come back out to get shot again. I'm pretty sure it's the same 10 people getting killed over and over again with different clothes on. It's so funny. And his one-liners that he says in that movie is really funny. And you will watch these old movies again, and you'll be like, holy fuck. The bad guy is so and so from this famous TV show that we all love, like the original RoboCop. The bad guy.
It's Red Foreman.
It's Red Foreman. Yeah. Like,
it's Red Foreman, man.
And then like the bad guy in Commando was one of the like head bad guys in the first Mad Max movie. It's just fucking funny. So. That's it. We're gonna wrap it up. Wow, this is almost
time flies.
An hour and 20 minutes. So
it's funny. I'm pretty sure we've changed the podcast every 10 episodes.
Pretty close to it.
You know what I mean? Like episode 10, we started doing the conspiracies, or episode whatever 11.
Yeah.
And now we're at episode 21, and look at us go, changing it up again.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.